What's up, people? Welcome back to Daily Red Devil for all of your latest Manchester United transfer news and talk. I hope everyone is doing well on this Saturday afternoon. We've got an absolutely massive show for you guys today, so please do smash a like on the video and please do subscribe to the channel if you are new. Let's jump straight on into it. So on today's video, we're going to be going through 9 players who are leaving or have left Manchester United already. And we will be exploring 2 new potential signings that will come in before the end of the window starts. As always, I try and make it as interactive as possible, so do get involved in the comments section. Let me know how you're feeling about all of the topics we discuss. So let's start off with the outgoings. We've put together a really detailed list of all the people who look set to leave or have left already. We've calculated what their wages were, and we've got a figure for you to bring at the end of the video. So we will tell you exactly how much money Manchester United have made so far this window, how much money they've saved in wages, and how much money we have spent, which I think is really good to do because it's good to see where we're at this moment in time. Okay, starting off with Anthony Elanga. He has, of course, moved to Nottingham Forest for a fee of £15 million, and he was being paid £260,000 per year, which is obviously not very much in the grand scheme of things. Next up, we've got Alex Telles, who has moved to Al Nassr in Saudi Arabia, £4 million, and he was being paid £4.8 million per year. Next up, we've got Eric Bailly, who is set to join Besiktas on what looks like a free agent deal. Eric has been on £4.1 million per year. Next up, we've got Fred, who has, of course, just agreed a deal with Fenerbahce that has been confirmed now by Manchester United. He is having his medical today in Turkey ahead of a move to Fenerbahce. The deal is worth £8.7 million, and Fred was being paid £6.2 million per year by Manchester United. Next up, we've got Mr. Harry Maguire, who we can now confirm from The Guardian, from other newspapers in the UK today and journalists. Harry Maguire has now agreed personal terms with West Ham, and he will complete a medical within the next week. The deal will be worth £30 million, and Harry Maguire was being paid £9.87 million per year at Manchester United. Next up, we've got Matej Kovar, the backup goalkeeper. He has just been sold to Bayern Leverkusen for £7 million and was being paid $430k per year. Next, we've got a couple of free agent ones. We've got Tuan Zabi, who has, of course, left the club as a free agent. No money for him, but he was on £2.6 million per year. Next up, we've got Mr. Phil Jones, Mr. Invincible. Again, a free agent, no money, but he was on £3.9 million per year. And then finally, in the outgoings list, we have David De Gea, who was being paid £19.5 million per year. Absolutely ridiculous. Crazy money for David. So yeah, obviously he's gone as a free agent, no money whatsoever. Now you're probably wondering, why is he telling us all of the wages? I don't really care, but wait until you hear this. In total, from 9 players who are leaving the club or who have left already, Manchester United have saved £57.8 million per year in wages. I mean, that is a big success. A huge success. Just to put into a bit of perspective, right? Arsenal's wage budget, Arsenal, who finished second in the league, who people are saying are going to win the league this season, Arsenal's whole wage budget is around £100 million for every player, right? And we've just cleared from 9 outgoings £57.8 million. And I don't think a single one of those players is really a miss. Maybe David De Gea, some fans would say, but I honestly don't think any of those players I'm going to lose a wink of sleep over now that they've gone. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree. Let me know if you're really upset that Harry Maguire's going. I assume you probably won't be. But yeah, so £57.8 million has been saved in wages. That's a massive success. And we've raised £64.7 million in transfer fees. Just to be clear as well, that doesn't include any add-ons. So all of the figures that I've given you today have been the fees without add-ons, because I think it's better to assume we're only going to get what we get. You know, Maguire's got 5 million add-ons. I think Elanga's got 5 million add-ons. So these transfer fees could end up being a little bit more than what I've reported today. But £64.7 million has come to Manchester United this window from 9 outgoings. Now, moving over to the ingoings, this is the one that is a bit more exciting. We can run through the people we have signed already. So we've got Mason Mount in, £55 million. Mason Mount is being paid 250 grand per week. Okay. Onana, £43 million transfer fee, £100,000 per week in wages. Not bad. Rasmus Højlund, £60 million up front to Atalanta, and he's on £80,000 per week. So total amount we are paying in wages for those 3 players is £21,860,000. And we've spent £158 million in transfer fees. So this is where we do the grand reveal of how much we have spent up to this point and how our finances are looking. So at the moment, our net spend as of today, the 12th of August, 2023, is £93 million and 300,000. So not very much, really, when you think about it. Manchester United usually spend around £200 million a season. And that is when the bit in a minute is going to get exciting, because we can talk about the players that are going to come in. So £93 million net spend. And so far, with 9 players leaving the club, who were all surplus to requirements, in my opinion, and us signing 3 first-team players, we have saved £35 million, £940,000, 35.9 million in wages we've saved. So I'm quite happy with that. I think that's quite positive. Obviously, we've removed people who were never going to get any game time under Erik ten Hag. We've brought in 3 first-teamers, and we're still £35 million better off in the wage department, which is, of course, really, really important when you start looking into financial fair play and all of that stuff. But I'm not going to bore you with that on this video, because that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. Now, let's look at the ingoings. Let's talk about that. So the 2 new ingoings look set to be Sofyan Amrabat for a fee of around £25 million. Reported wage will be something around £80,000 per week. And then the final one will be Jean-Claire Todibo or Benjamin Pavard. The fee for them will be around £35 million, which would be, again, around £80 million in wages, which would take our total net spend for the window to around £150 million, which I think is probably about right. I think that's quite realistic. Manchester United usually spend around 100 to 200 million. It's usually 200 million when we're not in the Champions League. And then when we qualify for the Champions League, usually the Glazers put more money available. And which obviously now we're in the Champions League, we can expect to spend a little bit less, because that's usually what happens. Obviously, we haven't included players in this like Scott McTominay, Jadon Sancho. There are other people who could potentially leave the club before the window ends, Dean Henderson, etc. But just for argument's sake, I wanted to make this video as, you know, as simple as possible and make it based on actual facts, not based on Jadon Sancho might go to Tottenham for 60 million, because that's just hypothetical at this point. And I think it's better to give you a well-rounded overview of where the window is at this moment, so we can then all formulate an opinion. So the question we're going to try and answer to now as a community is, has the transfer window been a success? Now, we are assuming that we do get Amrabat and we do get Todibo, which obviously might not happen. We might not get neither of them. But let's just look at it based on facts at the moment. If we just sell those 9 players who we've discussed, and we only sign Mason Mount, Onana and Rasmus Højlund, I would say it's a success in the sense of we've got rid of deadwood, even though I don't like using that term. We've got rid of players surplus to requirements, okay? But I think without Amrabat and Todibo, I think it probably hasn't been a success. If we bring in both of those people, which it looks like we will, I would probably give the transfer window an 8 out of 10. If we then go and get another striker, which I think is essential, a Kolo Muani, Taremi from Porto, maybe a Mohamed Kudus. If we brought in somebody like that as an extra striker, I would go up to a 9. If McTominay goes, Dean Henderson goes, I would go up to a 10 if we then brought in 2 world-class replacements in both of those positions. You know, I'm thinking someone like Tchouameni. I'm thinking someone like Romeo Lavia, someone like that to replace McTominay. I would even go up to a 9 or a 10. But at the moment, I'm sitting somewhere around about a 7 out of 10. I think the window's been good. I think we've cleared a lot of wages. As I said, £64.7 million in transfer fees have been received. £57.8 million in wages have been removed. That is really, really good. And if you compare that with other clubs, we've removed half of what Arsenal's wage bill is in one window. Very, very good in that sense. But I still think we're lacking a little bit on the ingoings. And I wouldn't say at this point, with Mason Mount, Onana and Rasmus Højlund, I wouldn't say we're going to win the league. You know, we need a striker, another midfielder, a defender. Then I think we'd be in that conversation. But as always, I want you to get in the comment section and let me know how you're feeling about the transfer window so far. Are you happy about the outgoings? Are you, who do you think we need to sign before the window ends? Let me know in the comment section below. This has been Daily Red Devil. I've been Kieran. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Lots of love and peace out.